Welcome to a new episode of Business Meets Life. 1 year ago in Sydney, Australia, I got the pleasure to bump into this amazing gentleman, Vishal. And I'm very excited to talk to him about an interesting topic because I remember he used to work for Gartner. He's super intelligent, has IT background, is an amazing sales business development person. Former account manager, is really amazing in real estate and investments. But that's not exactly what we're going to talk about today. Vishal, I know this is your first ever podcast. How are you? Thanks for making time.
Thanks, Janine. First podcast, very excited. And the topic I'm going to bring is very interesting as well, something that you don't get to hear on YouTube a lot. There's hundreds and thousands of videos on mindset, motivation, business, this, that. But yeah, this is something different and refreshing for your audience.
Beautiful. And I know you've trained a lot under some masters also in India recently. So the topic is why some people succeed and others don't, which fits perfectly to Business Meets Life. But also it's specifically what Tantra knows that science doesn't. So my first question, when we actually spoke about this last year, I already see the first hearts coming in here from our listeners. Tantra for me, thinking about my travels to India, to Bali, I feel like, isn't that something sexual? What exactly is it?
No, this statement always makes me laugh. Basically, there's two when the Western world hijacked Tantra, there's two things they're trying to achieve. First thing, women who are promoting tantric sex are trying to get male clients because, males are always chasing sex. Or for males to come around this mystic, a person that is a male that is different to a female, it's another gimmick. So no, Tantra is not sexual. Yes, it can go that way, and then there's a different modality, and that's completely another topic. But the tantric knowledge that originated from India and traveled across the world and diluted and this and that. Long story short, Tantra is not sex.
Okay, so let's dig a little bit deeper into this. All right. So you are in, again, real estate, formerly IT, sales departments, a world driven by a lot of data, market cycles, and hard numbers. And yet your personal philosophy is rooted in tantric wisdom that's thousands of years old. When did those two different worlds collide for you? And was there a moment where you realized the ancient science and the spreadsheet were actually saying the same thing?
Yeah, look, very good questions to start with. I've sold data intelligence. I've worked for Fortune, top 10 companies. Everything for me was science-based. I grew up in this ancient wisdom back in India. So everything was part of life, but I gave up on everything. I chose not to because I was like, I'm a science student, so I'm a data student. I'm not going to follow these practices or ancient wisdom. But soon I realized as I kept growing and growing, the amount of sufferings and failures just kept piling up. And I just couldn't understand why. I was doing everything the right way. For example, one of the things that still takes me back to why it started was when I was clearing my English exam for Australia. I failed the English exam 10 times, and I wasn't failing there are 4 subjects in that exam. So I wasn't failing that one subject every time. That could be logical, right? If you're failing one subject, you're weak in it. But I was getting, 95% in 3 subjects. The next attempt, I might fail in another one, but I would get 95% plus in other 3. And that kept happening just 10 times. So I was just so frustrated. Why just me? And people who couldn't even speak English was passing literally in one go. So patterns like this, I started kind of recognizing why my jobs are not sticking more than 2 to 3 years. Why are my relationships falling? Why no matter how much money I'm collecting, saving, hard work, it suddenly kind of takes me back to step 1. So because I worked in data intelligence and we were always recognizing pattern and making decision, I was like, okay, there's something that the Western world doesn't understand here, and I need to dig deeper why these patterns kind of plague me in my life. So that's where it started.
And I'm wondering because I mean, India has a very old culture itself. You know, I lived in China. There's lots of wisdom in there. Did anything of that come from your family?
We are born into it, and there are things that we follow on a day-to-day life. So it is in harmony of our growth. But no, I did not follow at all. Actually, I used to fight with my parents and tell you guys are just superstitious. You don't want to change at all. This, that. Of course, there are aspects to superstition as well, and you can't just follow everything blindly. But here, I was making income selling data and making everything based on data, but I still had questions that were not getting answered by any Western concepts of therapy and quantum this and all the marketing buzz that is out there nowadays.
So most Australians or foreigners hear the word Tantra and they think of something very different, as we just mentioned, right? How do you handle those first 10 seconds when you tell someone what you actually practice and study? And what's the fastest way you found to shift the misconception?
Look, a lot of Western stuff is marketing gimmick, marketing bluff, repackaging of how to sell their services again and again with that new bluff. I've gone to tantric workshops here in Sydney, therapies that says tantra this and that, and it's basically the same thing, same pitch, but just trying to create a hype. So I don't really kind of get into that debate unless someone really wants to, because there's a lot of ignorant people, and I was one of them before, that absolutely would shut this conversation down with my parents or anyone. Someone who wants to talk about it, yes, I'm open to, because I'm really motivated by helping people lessen their suffering. But someone who's just adamant by like, okay, this thing doesn't work. I'm going to give you something, and I'm going to give you your audience or anyone listening, real factual stuff. Every night you sleep, put a chicken piece, a beef piece, a lamb, egg next to your bed for 2 to 3 months every day. Now go and hire the biggest life coach in the world, performance coaches, anything. Come back in 2 years' time and tell me how your life has been. And I can almost guarantee you would have seen so many failures, so many miseries, so many sufferings. Now, this is not black magic. These are the energies, the law that is present, the dimensions that are present above human form and below human form, always living with us. This is something science can't explain. This is something no modern coach can explain. The Western concepts, the modern coaches, everything can only, help you understand what they can see. But just because you can't see air doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Just because you can't see the colony of ants living under the surface, you can't see, doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Just because if there's water that is stagnant there and bacteria starts collecting, we know bacteria collects like that, and under microscope you can see them. But in our muted eyes or the capacity our eyes have, if you can't see, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. We are always surrounded by energies that are constantly affecting us day in, day out.
Yeah. So let's dig a little bit deeper. The 3 bodies, what we're missing. So you say we have 3 bodies, not one. Most of us go through our entire lives managing only what we can see. Our health, maybe our appearance, our actions. Can you explain in plain language and give us a simple analogy that makes it click for someone hearing this for the first time?
Yeah, look, it actually, is quite depressing where this stuff is not taught. We do absolutely everything in our capacity to look after our physical self. We're going as extreme as getting Botoxes and plumbing up our chest and, putting some injection in our asses. We're spending thousands of dollars in these artificial creams with chemicals in them that's affecting your fertility, your testosterone level, your hormonal level, and then we're praising these billion-dollar companies and the models that kind of promote, and that's how our life's kind of driven. But suffering, on a human conscious level is all-time high in today's world. Even though life has become way more comfortable, the mental health, the suicide rates, the divorce rates, our children, how they grow up, how broken they are, how emotionally weak they are, no one's paying bad side to it. So in the tantric philosophy, you are just not your physical body. You actually are a combination of three bodies. One is the physical, that the Western concept or the modern concept kind of has everything available. The second is the karmic body that you carry, meaning, well, the karmic things you have done, the goods and the bads, you have to pay for it. And that results in the happy moments in your life and the negative moments, which is the sufferings in your life. And the other is the astral body. So it is way more important. And I want the audience to, if they want to just take one thing out of today, is put effort to cleanse your astral body, because that is where all the sufferings, all the outcomes, the happiness starts manifesting. It manifests on your astral body, and then it manifests in your physical reality. Your mental health issues, your diseases, life sufferings, everything first has already manifested on your astral body, and that's when you see, when it manifests in your physical body, that's when you see the actual outcome. So I'm going to give you another remedy or a tip here for your audience to kind of help them with getting better, or opening up money opportunities. And it's not going to rain money. You always have to work hard. But every Friday, when you shower, have a little bucket and then put some water on it, put milk or yogurt in it, mix it, and put rose oil in it, pure organic rose oil. It must not have any chemical. Now, guys, again, your physical body also does not like chemicals. That's why you see a surge in brand names where everything's organic. If your astral body is the same, guys, keep your astral body away from all the chemicals. So milk or yogurt, mix it in water, put some rose oil every Friday. If you can do this every Friday for a year, and towards the end of your shower, just pour it all over you and then shower a little bit once again, I can almost guarantee your income sources, your bank balance, everything will go up. And that is what
All
Tantra
right,
is.
I'm going to start trying this out from this Friday then.
100%. This is what Tantra is. It's not having sex and all these, failed coaches and therapy people, just because they want to get more clients, they're adding in something different or a new word from the eastern side of the world. It's not that.
Beautiful. Thanks for sharing. Earlier, you mentioned about the aura cleansing as well. So how do we cleanse that astral body cleansing?
So many ways, guys. Everything you can find it in your own house. First and foremost, like have shower. When you're showering again, put salt in your water. Have a little bucket, put salt in there, pour it over you towards the end. Have a quick shower as well. Yes, perfumes are nice, but they're still chemicals and alcohol based. Use pure organic oils on your body. That cleanses your aura. There are many different advanced techniques. Like one is Havan. That is one of the quickest way to cleanse your aura, whatever negativity that surrounds you, and then that is what you're going to be a part of as well. Janine, cleansing your past karma is also seriously important. It's just not the aura. So these two bodies you always have to look into. Your astral body, you can really work on it super quickly, but your karmic body carries karmas of lives and lives behind you, and then you're still building upon it. So a simple prayer, you can, as soon as you wake up, the number one thing you must stop doing, or people must stop doing, is getting on their phones. I would even suggest putting the phones and laptops out of your bed, because you activate Rahu. Now, Rahu is a demon god. It manifests itself in this world in the form of electronics, digital media, social media. It kind of bluffs your mind into thinking digital media is what you need to be, and makes you attention seeking, this, that, etc., etc. So when you wake up, repeat these 4 lines 108 times. Universe, please forgive me. I'm sorry. I love you. I thank you. And you just release. You will just release so much calm. And once you start practicing this, Janine, you would literally have flashes of people that you would have heard. They'll start coming, but it takes time. Everything I'm saying, guys, it's not Western synthetic medicines that you take it and your headache is gone. For you to vibrate in that dimension of pure positive love and energy, it takes time. Your body needs to acclimatize to it. So, universe, I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. And repeat the same thing 108 times as soon as you wake up. And then before you go into bed, don't touch your phone, don't touch your laptop. Repeat the same thing again.
It's so interesting you share this. There was a time, I think it was around when COVID had started in China. And I was all by myself. Some of my friends were stuck at home. I had to take care of cats and households of friends. I was one of the few ones left in Shanghai when COVID started. And there was this time I repeatedly listened to that YouTube video that actually says that Ho'oponopono prayer.
Yeah.
So yes. Oh my
this
gosh, I love it.
story,
And actually,
I'm
go
sure
ahead.
the story, probably a lot of people know about it, but Dr. Hewlin was a psychiatrist doctor, again, well versed in Western education or modern education, you can say. And then he was sent to this mental asylum where the most, not dangerous, but yes, they were dangerous, but really mentally ill in a dangerous way. And he was assigned these 15 clients. And when he started reading their files and what they've done, the horrible things they've done, he felt so emotionally down and sad and upset. And this is what he used to do. He never saw those 15 patients, but he used to open the files of the patient and just constantly chant these 4 lines. And within a period of 2 years, all these patients were assessed okay and to be able to go back to in regular society. So therapy didn't work. This didn't work. All the Western, sorry, again, I don't want to keep saying Western, the modern tools that we have didn't work for these, so-called the toughest patient, but just releasing the energies that we operate in a person by not even seeing these criminals and literally reading the files and chanting this mantra for them cured their depression, their mental illness, and everything. So it's science.
Wow.
It's science, but just modern science can't prove it. But the ancient spiritual science, it has always been there. It always works.
Amazing. Wow. Okay, let's move on to the next one. So
Yeah.
if the causal, the karmic body is the blueprint, the deepest layer that essentially programs the physical and the astral layers, does that mean our financial situation, our relationships, even our health are all in some sense pre-written? And if so, can a blueprint actually be rewritten? Or are we just working with that we came in with? What do you think?
Yes, it's definitely pre-written, and there's numerous example, and this podcast can go for like hours, hours, and hours. So the best moment
I'm
of your
okay with
life,
that.
the best moments of your life, the years that you would have made the most amount of money, the most amount of happiness would have been a year that have had favorable planetary outcomes, or when you were aligned with the planets that were positive in your birth charts. Yes, karma kind of overhauls everything, and you basically just kind of living your life and auto repeat. So whatever's already pre-designed for you will absolutely happen. And when I say this, I'm not saying, okay, oh, I ate a burger today. Is that also pre-written? No, not to that molecular level, but all the major incidents, the major happiness, the major sufferings, your total outcome of life, everything is pre-written. But with tantric practices, we can, and using these energies, whether they're energies above the human levels or energies below the human dimensions, we can actually alter our state of life. And I've shared few 2 to 3 good examples what I've done previously with people I've randomly met, and they were so much in suffering. And again, I just want to re-clarify: we're not talking about black magic here. I'm not bringing in demons with me, nothing like that. But the law of the universe, guys. Every ancient civilization was so much in sync with the energies and how they live and coexist, until the monotheist religions came and started banning everything.
hmm So, fun fact, 2 weeks ago, when I kind of booked you into this podcast, I mean, how many times have I told you about my podcast in the last year? I think many times. And finally, I made it to get
Yeah.
you to come here and speak. And it was right before new moon, I think. Yes,
It was,
full
yeah.
moon. Full
100%.
moon.
And I'll give you, because you mentioned new moon, the tides on planet Earth is controlled by moon, the high tides, the
Sure.
low tides. If such mass amount of water is controlled by planet that is so far away due to the gravitational pull and everything, all these 9 planets have their own gravitational pull. Even if there was a degree or a gram of pull here and there, the whole ecosystem that is on Earth would have been, destroyed. The same pull kind of affects us all the time as well. Your body is water, 70% water. Your brain is water. The moon is always affecting you guys, and your moon also represents your mother. So you will see people who are very emotional or can get depressed really quickly, have anxiety. I'm going to give you one tip to your audience. Go and sit with your mother and look after your mother. See how can you make her happy, and the anxiety, the depression slowly will start going away, because moon represents emotion, moon represents mother, the same way sun represents your father. Now again, I'm going to tell you, like, this is such a exact science. How can you tell that your sun energy is disturbed? And then, because the sun also represents your father, sun also represents your head. Now, I've had a bad relationship with my father. Like, I grew up, he was a traditional Indian dad, didn't really take much part in, raising the kid. He would just make money and expect everything to be done. And I saw that. And I was like always in this emotions of taking revenge when I grew up. But if I just lived my life in the modern way, I would have taken the revenge. But when I got into the spirituality, I understood deeper meaning. Point being, I've gotten hit 2 times, almost very detrimental injuries to my faces, playing cricket. Just a week back, I got a concussion, to which the doctor has told me not to drive or walk, for a week or two. Like, I've always had injuries around my head. This represents your sun is damaged, or your sun energy is not at the highest. So the thing you can do is redeem your relationships with your fathers and mothers, and you'll start seeing the benefits of sun and moon energies.
Interesting. We actually just got a good question here in the chat. Actually, let me pop it up. So first, in the saying, I'm thinking about how we can shift bad or negative energy into a positive one.
Look, many ways. There's things that kind of straight away works. There's things there are little remedies that you kind of always have to do and continue to do. The action that happens straight away, I mean, fairly quickly, are the havans. So the havan is a offering via fire, a ritual via fire, and in all ancient traditions, people did offer offerings to the gods, the demigods, the energies around you that were affecting you via fire. The second thing is salt. Absolutely is a must. Start using perfume oils, not chemical-based perfumes, but the Hindi word for it is attar. So always apply attar or organic oil to your belly button. Now, your belly button in the tantric philosophy or the Indian philosophy is your center point. It is your center point. If you calculate the length from your head to your belly button and from belly button to your toe, it's going to be, your belly button is exactly in that position. And why is that? It's not by randomly has happened. Everything that happens in the universe is not random. It has happened by the purpose. So always apply once you have a shower. Take that perfume oil or oil-based perfume. 100% must be oil-based perfume. If it's rose perfume, well and good. And then just use your finger and rub it on your belly button. That will protect you all day long. Now, there are other like smaller things like burning sages, things and that. There's plenty of YouTube videos there on YouTube, but I'll give you a really good one. So there's a plant called camphor, and you get little camphor discs. Again, make sure there are no chemicals involved in it. And even if you burn camphor every day in your house, the smell of it is so pure, is so good. It'll relax you, it'll reduce your anxiety, everything, and clean your aura. But Havan, 100%. Everyone must do 2 Havans a year, one for your planet and one for the energies that are responsible for the sufferings and monetary outcome in your life.
Amazing. Yeah. And speaking of the moon, for about like 2, 3 weeks ago, when it was like you told me, Janine, go and have a swim in the ocean, which I did. I followed your advice and I actually went into, an ocean swim under the full moon it was. So thank you
Yeah.
for that.
Anywhere where salt occurs naturally, ocean is one of the best place. If you're feeling down, just take a dip in the saltwater ocean. If it's a full moon day, absolutely, the energies are so pure, so high on full moon.
Yeah. All right. I have, oh my gosh, so many more questions for you because this is so interesting. Okay. So let's take two people, right? Same city, same education, same work ethics, same opportunities. One builds wealth, one stays stuck. Every success coach on the planet has a theory. What does Tantra say is actually different between them that those coaches are missing?
So look, your life outcome pretty much 80% of the time depends on your karmic debts that you're bringing from your previous life. So if you've had bad karmic debts and you continue to accumulate bad karmic debts in this life, no matter how much success you would have seen, it is going to go to ground. And that's where you see again all these influencers in YouTube, they suddenly become famous. And then in 5 years' time, you see you've got court cases against them, or for some reason they've gone them in themselves into position where police is involved, criminal cases, stuff like that. Right. And then the second thing is the astral sense. Because the energies around us are always operating and we basically do not care about looking after our astral body, even if you've had good karma, the astral body, because it's diluted, it's unhygienic, the good benefits of your good positive karma, it doesn't let you, because now your body's so, astral body is so dirty. Imagine, Janine, if you don't have shower for 1 week, how would you feel?
Dirty.
Right? Exactly. And then I've known you for 1 year, you're absolutely amazing human, but I wouldn't want to be near you if you're not showering for one year, right? And what does
Oh,
that
come
happen?
on, Michelle. I thought our friendship is deeper.
I know, but this is what I'm saying. But what happens when that happens, right? People where you work, people are going to stay away from you. Your organization may not give you clients. So this is the result of your physical body being dirty, because we can smell it, we can see it, right? And that's where people think, no, this person's not suited for this role, and all opportunities kind of keeps reducing. Same as the astral body. Because we can't see it with the human eyes doesn't mean it's not operating. And be absolutely be guaranteed that your downfall is because of your astral body being very unhygienic. If you don't even believe this, guys, I'm going to give you another remedy. I've already told you to put, when you sleep, it's not a remedy, it's actually a negative thing, just to prove that the energies always exist. That first, sleep every night for 2 to 3 months with a piece of meat right next to your head, and tell me how your life has gone through a downfall even after you've had the best coaches. This is another thing for, let's say, for example, females or males. Your used underwear, dip it in egg and just throw it outside anywhere, and watch your life go to horror, absolute horror.
Oh gosh. Okay, so let's not do this. All right.
No,
So everyone who's
I don't
listening, we're
recommend
not going to
doing
do
it,
that.
but this is what I'm telling. Like, the modern science can't explain such things, but the
Yeah.
tantric wisdom always knew. The ancient civilizations always knew, and then they practice rituals to cleanse their astral body. Yes, they weren't educated in the modern day academics, but they were absolutely educated in the astral, the karmic, and the spiritual dynamics.
Wow. So you also mentioned universal laws that are constantly in operation, regardless of what religion someone follows. What is the single most powerful universal law that most people are violating without knowing it? And what does that violation look like in everyday life?
Look, the law of karma, absolutely, most people are aware of it. It never misses your address, Janine. It is so real. And the second law is the law of gratitude. Uh, because if someone's offering you something, a help, whatever, and you are not truly, genuinely thankful about it, for example, yes, your life can be quite miserable, but are there people present that are more miserable in this world? Absolutely. So if you're not thankful of the life and all you're dwelling upon is, oh, my life's negative, it is going to become
Mm,
negative. And then the law of karma always operates, irrespective of the religion. No, you're not born a sinner. No, you're not going to go to heaven. Your soul literally travels from one body to another life form, to another life form, to another life form. It is not going to
mm.
heaven. This is an absolute misconception that monotheist religions kind of bring, that no matter what you do, but if you take one name and then you go to the heaven. I'll give you a quick example. 5,000 years ago, there was a war that happened in India. Now, the reason why eastern side of the world always never agree with the monotheist religions that have come from the western side of the world is that Jesus died and rose back from the dead. That's the main theory. But in the Eastern civilizations and the religions, there were many characters that could die on their own will, that came back from death, just regular human beings, because they understood the Tantra. A lot of things were related, were tantric practices. So this guy died, was in a war. The way he died, or he didn't die, but his situation was he had thousands of arrows through his body, but he had a boon that he could only die when he wanted to. And because this guy never committed any sin or did anything wrong, he was absolutely in wonder, like, why did I deserve such a painful death? So he wanted to not die, let this war finish, and ask Krishna. I'm sure a lot of people are aware of Krishna, the ISKCON temple, and all that is related to
Yeah.
Krishna. Krishna is the last incarnation of Bhagwan Vishnu, but let's not go there. So when Krishna came to pay his last tribute, because this person was so pure, the person, he was lying on a bed of arrows and said, Krishna, I've seen my past 100 lives. Now, people were so educated in the ancient wisdom that they could go in their lives again and again, and even this is what is called past life regression in nowadays time. He says, I can see my 100 lives, but I can't see where have I committed a slightest of sin. And Krishna says,
Mm,
you can, as in your human form, can only see 100 life. That's your capacity. But I have seen all your life ever since the soul was there. And he said,
yeah.
back before that, in one life form, your arrow hit a tree, which kind of shook the tree, and a snake fell from that tree onto the thorns of thorns.
Mhm.
And the snake kind of died a very painful death. So even this guy, when that the action wasn't even deliberate, sorry, he
Mhm.
didn't really kind of put that snake out of that misery or help the snake. He's like, that's the exact reason why you're lying in an arrow of, like, your body has pierced through thousands of arrows and no one's come to help you. So once he realized, okay, now I know why I deserved this death, then he decided to leave his body. So that guy lived 180 years.
Mhm.
This happened 5,000 years ago. So absolutely, law of karma will find your address.
Interesting. Yeah, we get a lot of interesting comments here as well. Okay, we have less than 50 minutes left. I feel like I have tons of questions for you. Oh my gosh. So, what are the most common blockages you observe in people who are financially stuck? I mean, at the end, people listen to this here, business meets life. They want to be more successful. Some of them want to have more money, right?
Yeah.
Um, or people who are working hard, doing the right things, but simply cannot seem to break through to that next level. And what does the blockage actually feel like from the inside if someone is carrying one right now?
Look, people do absolutely everything to look after their physical body. They're going to the gym, they're buying really good clothes, they're, doing all these medical practices. They're not looking after their astral body. Even if everyone kind of focuses on cleansing their astral bodies, your life will start to improve, especially in financial terms. Now, just because it's, let's say, if there's a muscle that has an injury, let's say thigh injury, or you pulled a muscle, you go to a chiropractor. When there's a issue in the teeth, you go to a dentist. When there's an issue in your heart, you go to like a doctor that specializes in your heart. So even when it comes to monetary success, you have your monetary angels that the universe have already given you, and these could be your ancestors as well that have been living with you, or their presence has been with you for years and years and years. And just because you can't vibrate in the dimension, or you just don't have that
Yeah.
spiritual control to see that dimension, doesn't mean they're not there. So offering them via the havan, via the fire ritual, cleansing them, they absolutely support you, and then you will see financial outcomes. I repeat to people again and again: stop wasting money on alcohol, and then all the things that you do. Yes, absolutely do it, but reserve some amount of money for 2 to 3 havans every year to cleanse your astral sense, and the results and the monetary gain you will see will be absolutely astronomical.
Thank you. Again, a couple of really good tips
Now,
and very
I'll give you another tip
Mhm.
for your audiences. Rose on Friday, take rose. Put a piece of camphor. Now, again, you can Google camphor, or in Hindi it's called kapoor. Put 7 pieces of cloves on it, and then burn that camphor on that rose. Once the whole thing's burned, just put it in on the ground. Another remedy I want to give you: bay leaf. On bay leaf, with a green pen, write the amount of money you want to make and by what period in the year. For example, if you want to make 1 billion, but all you're doing is working in McDonald's, it's not going to happen. Be realistic. Put some honey on it, and put some cardamom powder, cinnamon powder, and then burn that bay leaf and whatever the ashes, and then feel that you're getting this blessing, and that the ashes that are remaining, just blow it out in the universe. 2 things.
I think you told me that. I think I did that. Or was it something else I tried?
This is what, like, in a very small essence, Tantra is. Now they're massive rituals and very deep concepts, but Tantra is not sex.
Yes, actually, no, this ritual I've seen online on YouTube with someone. Okay,
Yeah.
let's move on to the next questions. I mean, it is impressive the knowledge you have, and thanks for sharing so many nuggets with us. So you've clearly done your inner work. I know you've been also to India several times to like really go even deeper into it. I know you meditate a lot and so on. Now, was there a breakdown in your own life, a moment where the conventional approach completely failed you and sent you searching for answers in a different direction? I know you shared a little bit already. What else happened that you basically...
Yeah, every year was a struggle, Janine. Suffering, accidents, loss in share markets, relationships breaking down, relationships not working at all, me going into absolute depression, suicidal tendencies. It was just everything every year, to the point that even when we first met, like, you would have seen me someone who's smiling, laughing, everything, right? Even then I was suicidal. And my last 2 months journey in India last year, we went through this fire rituals. I went to the Holy Ganges. I did a lot of tantric rituals there. And none of the Western practices has ever helped me to cure my depression, my suicidal tendencies, nothing. I've done all that. These therapists would used to call me, like, if they absolutely care, why are they calling me to book more and more meetings? Like, I've done 20 meetings, $200 a meeting, right? And if you still can't resolve anything that I'm going through in a mental state, why are you calling me to, let's book another one, let's revisit? Like, anyways, that's my experience. But I can absolutely say, ever since I've returned, and then for the last 2 months, the rituals, the tantric practices I've done, I'm absolutely depression free. I have no suicidal thoughts. My life has changed 360 degree. As I said, this year, I completely left my IT career, no experience in real estate, got hired by one of the top real estate investment agency. In the first month, I'm the #1 salesperson with 100% conversion. So I've seen results. Yes, I've been a data science student, everything, but I know both sides of the world, and I'm a good balance of both sides of the world. I'm not telling don't follow the modern tools and techniques. Yes, absolutely do that, because you have to do it. but support yourself with the ancient wisdom, the spiritual, the astral body, the karmic body, the tantric way, and you'll see your life really quickly change. And I've helped a lot of people that just literally shared things randomly with me, and then they've been so much in pain and they have seen results.
Wow. First of all, thank you so much for opening up, showing vulnerability. I mean, some of these things I have not known about you either. So thanks for sharing. And I'm so happy to hear that you're much better and that you're also sharing this with us. I know you shared a couple of cases of people you've healed before, and I always get way too excited hearing about some of these anonymous cases, of course, on how you've done some healing. So if you had to start over your life from zero, let's say as a foreigner in Australia, what would you focus on in the first 30 days to rebuild your life and success?
Look, again, I'll go back to my statement again. Yes, all these tools are really good and everything, but if you're not astrally aligned, you're not vibrating in the positive dimensions, you're not having these practices, no matter what you write down, no matter the tools, the frameworks, everything, yes, it will deliver some sort of success, but the sufferings are waiting there for you when this planetary positions will align. So I will, if I take myself back 18 years ago when I absolutely denied, this knowledge system, I would just tell myself, yes, like absolutely go on with the modern way, because that's how life is going to be, and then change is the only constant. But also understand that your first level of manifestation is your astral body, the 7 chakra system, and that's what manifests outside. So I would work on my astral side of the world as well, plus the physical and everything that the modern tools, the frameworks are.
I know how many sacrifices you're also personally making in order to follow the practice and what your master is also telling. And this is not just for yourself, but also for others. Thanks for that. What is your mission? What's your purpose?
What's I just want to help people that are, they feel like nothing good happens to them. Everything has been negative. Same feeling that I went through. Why my life's not changing? What have I done? I can totally put my heart on my hand on my heart and say, like, I've never scammed anyone, never even took $1 from everyone, and why was I still suffering? So if you feel you're in that space, if you live in Sydney, I can absolutely help you. But just watch some YouTube videos on how you can cleanse your astral sense, and you'll start seeing changes, and that's what I really want to do.
Wow, beautiful. Thank you so much. Okay, I think this is the last question now. I would have 50 more, but yeah. So let's kind of summarize this, and also for our global audience, different people from around the world, from Asia, from the West. If someone from this audience is sitting there feeling stuck, could be financially, emotionally, professionally, and they've tried the conventional approaches and none of them have shifted a deeper pattern, what is the one thing you most want them to walk away from this conversation knowing? I know you mentioned this a few times with the astral body. I don't know if there's something else.
Find a knowledgeable person that can actually do havans for you in the right tantric way, and at least make it a point until your life suffering is away to have 2 to 3 havans every year. On your birthdays, especially, because on your birthday, all planetary situation changes. Don't worry about spending on alcohol, going out and partying. That is absolutely dumping unhygiene on your astral body. Yes, do it, but make sure, maybe $500. Go to a homeless organization and then just donate 500 there, or buy a few pieces of clothes and just hand out clothes to the homelessness. Like, do something that is really good. Like the vibration goes into the universe. The universe sees, like, this guy is literally not living for himself. He's not just spending money, a guy or a girl, another year around the sun. spending on alcohol, on girls, drugs, whatever. Like you're basically feeding yourself and doing nothing. Like you have this opportunity to live on earth and be in an absolute harmony to help support other individuals. And then that's what your true soul purpose is. So yes, enjoy your life, but make sure some amount of money that you make goes to helping the needy in whatever way you can.
Wow, beautiful. I know you're super busy. We're on time, German punctuality. Vishal, thank you so much for sharing all these nuggets with us and for opening up. And for everyone in the audience here, please subscribe, like Business Meets Live on YouTube, on Spotify. Start following him. And if you have some issues, especially if you're here in Australia, especially Sydney, reach out to him, book an appointment with him. He has helped me in several ways already. So he's just amazing. And I hope you could see that at the same time while we were getting more comments in here as well. So yeah, thank you so much, Vishal. All the best to you. And I look forward to our next catch up as well.
Yeah, I would love to bring more wisdom, more knowledge for free.
Thank you. Bye-bye, guys. Vishal, you can still stay here.